Hello there everybody, and welcome to this feature presentation on YouTube. I am King Mac, your hamburger pal. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to enjoy a hot fresh cheeseburger along with some delicious golden french fries, a tasty milkshake, and a nice soft drink. Also be sure to grab some hot buttery popcorn while you're at it as you enjoy this episode of TTBurger Game Reviews on YouTube.
Welcome back, my friends! You were watching TTBurger Game Reviews here on YouTube, and I'm your host, Tony. We're continuing episode 257 of my Knack series review, episode 257, part 2 of 2, the final part here. Once again, looking at a PlayStation 4 exclusive here. Before I get started, want to give a shout out to Freegan HD and Sub-Zero MNX for King Mac, Lost that Hyperlamnia, Griffin Pup, Brickles Stateside, Megs, Black Healer, along with the homie RJ, Ugojira, Rushterpool 69, the sensational Gen, Desecurity 22, and more and more and more. And we have a lot to talk about here with the sequel of Knack. Before we even get started here, those of you that have an episode 257 part 1 of 2, here's a Knack-style TTBurger recap to show you all what you missed. As I took a look at Knack for the PlayStation 4, which was a launch title when the game came out, and I gave it a 7 out of 10 because while it was a decent game, there were a lot of problems with it. Especially because Knack was very weak and we get killed in like 2 or 3 hits, and the fact that the game didn't really feel like a game, which I felt like a tech demo with the graphics and everything like that. But it was still a good game, not as bad as what the critics say or anything like that. But believe me, the game is good, just it could have been better. But now we're gonna zoom ahead to the year 2017, back in the month of September, where we have another game by Sony Entertainment Japan Studios here. And this was a exclusive, like I said, and we got the game right here. This is Knack II for the PlayStation 4, released on September 5th, 2017. Now, Knack II as a sequel, how does it fare in comparison to the original Knack? I mean, the first game was okay. It could have been better. Or the sequel, they are meant to improve on the predecessor and stuff. And sometimes the sequels are fantastic, and other times the sequels are disappointing. So where does Knack 2 fare in this category? Well, I'm going to say this. Knack 2 is a better game. Still not a perfect game, but still better than the sequel in many ways. This feels more like a game. I mean, it fixes most of the problems from the original Knack, and Knack is a more likable character and stronger character than last time. We have more character development and personality for the characters and stuff, and we have some badass villains here and plot twists and more, and it definitely is a big step above from the original Knack. Plus, Knack 2 also has cooperative play, which was surprising to me because I did not expect this series to have cooperative play in it at all. And so kudos to them for adding a cool feature to the sequel, definitely. You also have segments where you pilot with mechs and tanks that I did not expect it at all, and some quick time events. And Knack also has some cool ass power-ups and regenerating health moves and stuff like that. And he is stronger and has more personality to him. Makes this game a great sequel indeed. In this case, it will be getting a higher score. But there are some problems that are still here from last time, and Knack will not be getting a perfect score, but it'll be getting a higher score like I mentioned, because Knack 2 is a superb sequel we needed, and that's where we come here. But we'll get started here. The story takes place years after the first game. Lucas, the 16-year-old nephew of Ryder, is the one narrating here. Knack may have stopped Victor and his goblin plans to not take over the world, but problems once again rise in Newhaven. 4 Titans are attacking. Dr. Vargas and his wife Charlotte, who was thought to have died, is actually still alive. Ryder and his nephew Lucas all see the problem once again. Boondaham is once again behind the goblin attack, and the Titan-like mech creatures are attacking Newhaven. They escape by plane and meet at a monster and meet 2 monks, Xander and Ava. They arrive at a mountain pass, where they rest, and then the morning comes, they find a burned village unable to fight the mystery of the monks, the Titans, and more, and they head back to Dr. Vargas' lab where they ask Ryder to help, and they go and save Newhaven once again and go to Katrina's base, who was pretty much Victor's partner and stuff, and also Ryder's lover and stuff and everything there, right, after Victor died and everything. And they once again go to save Newhaven. This time will be tougher, but nothing Knack that the character made of belts and bolts and stuff cannot handle. And there's some surprising plot twists and elements more that will surprise you along the way. Gives you that like little Pixar movie-like feel to it. I know my description of the story was not very in-depth and detailed, but this is a huge story here. It is much better than last time. The improvements of the story are here. We have more character development. The character is not just one-dimensional that just sounded like the read off cute cards like that. You pretty much had care for these characters here, and it's more creative, like a Ratchet and Clank story and a Disney Pixar storyline at the same time. And it's in a good way too, because I like Ratchet and Clank stories, how they made them like Pixar movies and had made like Pixar film too. It felt more like that than a tech demo and stuff for the PlayStation 4. The story can get a little awkward at times, but it is much better. You care for the characters, Dr. Vargas, Charlotte, Lucas, Ryder, and mainly Knack himself, and more character development definitely. Knack himself has more development than last time. He's not just some hero with a motto voice saying, "You better not do that, you better not do that." Here he has feelings and emotions, something he lacked last time. And also, I should mention that the story is actually kind of like one of those things where it takes place before the event stuff, kind of like how God of War was, where it takes place before the ending and stuff. And the story is big and deep. The narration from Lucas adds more to the story. Knack II's presentation is excellent graphics and improved graphics, and they're bright and colorful too. This time, Knack II looks like a PlayStation 4 game, not a high-res HD PlayStation 3 game on the PlayStation 4. The character models are more detailed than last time, and they have facial expressions and animate really well. Knack looks the most detailed. He has muscular detail to him. His face looks awesome and badass looking. He looks like kind of a Ratchet and Clank and a Pixar character. I'm going to be referencing that a lot here. And he did look great in the first game. He looked better here and more defined. The moves that Knack can perform are so amazing. It looks like he had a feature you can watch the moves that he does. The cutscenes look amazingly detailed and better this time. No more PlayStation 3 HD res graphics on the PlayStation 4 that make it look like a tech demo for the system. Here they are fully rendered and 3D looking that make it look like a blockbuster Pixar action film. The environments are also improved than the original Knack. This time they're not linear, they are more open, giving you more paths to explore, to look for power-ups and icons and stuff and more. And they look very futuristic and they're colorful and they're bigger and stuff and such as well. There's a smooth frame rate here, there's no dips in it. I mean, sure there may be a couple times where it could slow down a little bit, but you won't even notice it. Knack's sound is actually really impressive, like last time. The voice acting is still very impressive. The actors actually sound better than they did last time. And that doesn't mean they sound bad in the original Knack. They sounded excellent here and they sound better. But with the characters having more character development to them, it makes the voice acting better for sure. Sure, some of the new characters sound a little hammy, but I can forgive this because it's not that hammy and the voice acting is still excellent and better. The music is also well done, like music from a Pixar summer hit movie that got the 5-star rating in like the top 5 best films of the summer or something like that, even though this game came out in the fall. The other sound effects like when Knack punches and kicks all sound badass too, along with the grunts from the bad guys and more. Knack's gameplay is where the improvements were mainly made here this year, and they worked well aside from some problems there. This time Knack has more moves, he can buy upgrades to make him stronger. Like last time he was weak and he died within a few hits and stuff. Here he can still die at times if you're not careful, but they fixed it with a regenerating health and stuff like that. And the yellow crystals that you get last time are your health this time instead of like your powers and stuff. And and the more relics bolts you collect, it makes Knack stronger, faster, taller, bigger, faster, like Godzilla and stuff like that and everything. Knackzilla, I call him, will say. Knack can use some cool ass punch and kick combos and some finishing moves too. Nothing like Mortal Kombat, of course, but I'm just saying that there. You can upgrade a lot of the attacks and a lot of them, and there's tons of them. You have this power up punch, this hook like attack to pull levers that can be used in attack as well. You have a boomerang. You can have this like rapid fury punch that can be used as a cool finish move to take out enemy shields. You can pick up items and throw at them and stuff this time, like you couldn't do it last time. You can pick up cars and throw at them. You can pilot vehicles like a mecha tank to fire missiles and use cannons and more. It gives a semi-roam feel to it due to the levels being larger and everything. And like in the first game, you can find treasure chests to give you upgrades. And we have quick time events here to help Knack get through some of the badass events like breaking a wrecking ball to destroy a crane or destroying like the big ass final boss. And more bosses, I mean to say. And the boss fights are so intense and amazing. Like you'll leave you scratch your head wondering what to do. And the biggest new feature is the cooperative play. I never played the cooperative play, but whoever has played the cooperative mode, comment down below to tell me how it is. Let me know how it was, whether you enjoyed it or not. The game is longer than the first game, wrapped up around 12 hours. You can play the new game plus after that to get more stuff. The difficulty is more balanced too, making it less frustrating, less cheap deaths, even though there are some times where they could kill you like without expecting it, won't give you a chance to recover your health or so. I had fun with Knack II. It was a better sequel than the original game, but now we have the negatives. Some of the puzzles can be frustrating, and like you won't know what to do. But thankfully, they give you hints on what to do in case you get stuck there and stuff, which can make it a little too easy at times. But still, it's not. You can figure it out for sure. The camera is awful. For some reason, the camera it just doesn't really cooperate with you at times. It can get you killed, and like the camera just doesn't really follow you at times for some reason, and it can you get stuck, and you have to jump down a path to orient yourself. It just doesn't really work the best. While there are less cheap deaths, there's still cheap deaths when falling off platform stuff, and sometimes the enemies will surprisingly kill you and stuff. The controls can be a little bit slippy, like when jumping and stuff, especially when jumping on platforms that make it fall right off. And with the camera, sometimes it can make it hard to time your jumps to and stuff. The boss fights are somewhat unbalanced, and the difficulty with more balance can be a little unbalanced, which I already said before. There's some vehicle control issues there and stuff, and due to the poor sales, Knack was forgotten about after this game. Because of this, there is no Knack 3. But this is a superb sequel overall, and those of us who are PlayStation 4 fans took the time to like give Knack the respect he deserved there at that. Pretty much all I gotta say there. Final thoughts. If you like the original Knack and want one of the better sequel, Knack 2 is the way to go for sure. It definitely should not be overlooked. I give Knack 2 a 9 out of 10 because of the problems I had with it, but it should not be overlooked at all if you wanted a sequel to Knack and want cooperative playing more. And that's it for episode 257 of my Knack series review. Stay tuned for episode 258. What will we cover next? We have to find out, which all I gotta say is Tony, peace out every day, and feel free to subscribe, like, comment down below, join my Discord group, TTBurger Gaming United, along with my Facebook group, TTBurger Gaming Group, along with my Facebook page, called TTBurger88, and just feel free to check out the content. There's more on the way, which all I can say is Tony, peace out, and have a great day, and see you on episode 258. Take care, everybody. Live every day with no regret, making mistakes and then reset.